What's going on, guys? This is FitDred from FitDred.com, and I'm just doing another update on my main cabinet. So I wanted to show you guys in Blender. So this application is Blender 3D. It's a free application. It's 3D animation. Normally it's 3D animation, but you can do 3D animation program. But you can do many different things on it besides 3D animation, 3D modeling, pretty much anything you need to do. So this program is pretty much amazing. I was able to, like I said earlier, download the model, an actual 3D to scale model of the cabinet that I'm going to be using. And I took it, modified it to suit, my purposes, and that's what I'm going to show you guys today. Is kind of like the final product, so to speak, of what it's going to look like. I've bought all the parts to make this possible, so now we're going to talk about it. So right away, the colors aren't accurate, obviously, because if I look in here, the sides are red. That's inaccurate. They're actually going to be more blackish. And the T-molding I purchased, which is the black borders, is actually inaccurate. That is going to be red. So I have a red T-molding. Let me just go ahead and change this while I'm talking to you guys about it. And the buttons and joystick are red, so you can see them here. Those are accurate. And the back panel doesn't really matter, but it is likely going to match the body. And again, this is just kind of like whipping things together. So I don't know how well you can see that, but it's definitely black. But just to make it easier for you guys to see, because that is awfully hard to see, I'm going to brighten it back up to around a red level. Just so you guys can get the picture. There's actually going to be there's likely going to be a sticker of some sort, like a nylon sticker that'll be on the side, but we'll talk more about that as I start making art decisions. So here we go, and let's talk about side view. We got the side panel, side button. Coin buttons are on the side, start buttons are on the front, menu button to go through your, go back to your game menu. I wanted that to be in the center, right there at the top. You got fans, entry and exit, entry hole at the bottom, exit hole at the top. Cool air coming in from the top, heat rises, it will exit this top part. I might add holes to the top, unlikely though. This is where the power cord will be, and I want to explain to you guys how I'm going to do that. Because it's a pretty ingenious way that I'm doing it. And then I have this, which will be the power switch. Now check this out, guys. I hope you like this. Oh yeah. So I actually have this pretty legit. Alright. Now all this stuff in here I have, gracefully labeled. Let's do a top view. Now this is actually inaccurate because I changed a few things since I did this model. This fan, it's still going to be there. This hard drive, I'm probably going to move these drives, maybe move this over here, and move this fan down, well, actually, I'll probably add a second fan, like this. The reason being, this is actually my motherboard, and this is semi-accurate, by the way, of what it's going to be like. I'm going to remeasure my my stuff just to make sure that this is going to fit properly, but it will fit, and because this is actually a 20-inch wide, I believe. I'm going to have to verify with my drawings. I'm pretty sure it's 20 inches wide, and I think my motherboard tray is only going to be 17 to 18 inches wide. So this will leave me enough room to mount it to the back. And you might be asking, why are you mounting it to the back side instead of inside? Well, it was the whole accessibility thing. If it's shut, it's fine. If it's open, now I can really get into these parts. All the parts right here. I can get into them. I can access everything without me having to cram everything in here. It's better for ventilation to be here. It's better for everything. And if you actually look at the side, let's go ahead and wireframe mode. Now, let me explain my boxes. This is a monitor, and these are cables. Don't worry about those, okay? Because those will be moving. This is the bottom fan, 120 millimeter fan. Now, let's go into wireframe. This monitor is the only thing that would be in the way of this closing. It actually works perfectly. Look at that. This is the power supply, this is the video card, and those are the things that stick out and might hit the monitor. But you can see, look at that, cleared by at least like ½ an inch. We're good. Now, it doesn't sit all the way down against the base. You see the base? Now, if you look at this, this is your actual motherboard tray. Now, I could have scooted that down a little bit more, you know, toward the bottom of the actual cabinet like this. But I ran into a problem. This video card has to be plugged into the monitor. So the video card you're going to have, because I could have moved the power supply and put it anywhere I wanted, so I didn't have to have the power cord right here. The video card has to be plugged into my motherboard. And here's my motherboard tray, so this is all fixed. So my video card has a not a VGA, but a DVI cable going into the monitor. So when it shuts, I have to have at least a little bit of clearance for that cable to snake down and then back up to the monitor. So I kind of got a little example cables here, and that's for the power cable. But this is, let's see, where's the example VGA one? Yeah. So this is not VGA, sorry, DVI once again. The actual video will be this cable, and it'll go down and plug into the video card, and then it'll just fold real nice shut and open without having to yank anything or do anything crazy. I got plenty of DVI cables, so it's not like you're going to run into a problem. Now, I have a power strip in here, and the reason I do is I don't want 2 power cords to my cabinet. I want 1 power cord to my cabinet. And I don't want the power strip power cord to be the power cord of my cabinet. I want a legit power cord for the cabinet itself. Because 2 things need an actual power from a power, like a wall outlet or something. The power supply and the monitor both need wall outlet power, so I have the power strip in there for that reason. It's a smart power strip that I bought off of Amazon, and the reason it's smart is when the main plug, whatever is plugged into your main plug, whenever that's powered on, it'll supply power to everything else plugged into it. So what that means is, if your monitor is plugged into an alternate port and you turn on your computer, it's automatically going to power your monitor on. And when you turn your computer off, it's automatically going to turn your monitor off. This is great. That means I can have one power button that turns off both and turns on both. And that really kind of adds to the, I want to say, professional design, professionalism. I don't want this to be, you know, one of those rigged up main cabinets. I want this to be like a professional product. For me, of course. This is going to be my personal one. I'm not selling it. So, okay. Let's go over some more things. This is the power strip power cord, and what I bought, and I'm going to show you in a video. It converts a normal power cord, like where you would plug this into a wall, into the female connector for a normal computer power cord. That's what this is. This is going to be a piece of wood that mounts basically my converter. I'm going to have a converter. It's going to convert this normal power cord into a female connector for a computer power cord, which will be housed right here. And you can use a super long power cord, any computer power cord, to just plug into there. Female, this will be your female end, so you'll plug it into here and then plug it into the wall, and that'll power the entire cab. And this, of course, will be a button for the actual motherboard to power the computer on. So I hope you like my design so far. Let's talk about a few other things just to be thorough on my design. These speakers are USB speakers, and while I didn't want to do USB speakers, these were convenient for me because, one, they're USB, so I don't have to plug them into a power strip, and I already have a power strip in there, so it doesn't really matter either way, but, you know, whatever. They're small in size, so they fit perfectly right there. I don't even have to take them out of their housing. And they actually had really good ratings. So, I mean, awesome. It's USB, plugs in. They don't have a volume control on the speaker itself, so that's kind of actually convenient for me. I'll control the volume with the operating system itself. I'll probably have, you know, a button be a shift button, like maybe these start buttons. Maybe I'll make a start button a shift button, and if you hold it down and push like one of these red buttons here, like the top or the bottom one, it'll increase or decrease your volume. I don't know. Or maybe I'll just make it so you hold down the start button and push up or down on the joystick, and it will turn up and down volume. Maybe I'll do that. So let's talk about Hinge system. So I want a Hinge system because it's just professional. And I wanted the Hinge system for both the front and the back. The control panel I don't anticipate accessing on a regular basis, but if I ever had to change out a button, I don't want to have to go through snaking my arm through the middle of this. That's just ridiculous. And it wouldn't be hard for me to just implement, you know, a Hinge system. And this isn't accurate. The hinge system I'm going to use is actually smaller. It's not like door hinges. These are like door hinges. Okay, those are pretty big. Mine are smaller, thinner, and longer, and they'll be easier concealed. Because if you see it shut here, you can kind of see it from the front. That won't necessarily be the case for my hinges because they're, you know, very small compared to those. They're really, well, small. So they will open up like this, and I'm going to wire it in such a way where the iPack will be here, so it won't yank. If I put the iPack on this base, the potential to yank would be present. And I you know, either way, I'm going to have a cord heading through the middle, you know, because the USB, basically the iPack, if you don't know, is what all the buttons from the top plug into. And then this basically translates those button presses into keyboard presses. So that plugs into your computer via USB, and that'll actually have to snake all the way to the front right here on the motherboard. I'll probably plug it right in. So let's talk. Let's see. These are just wood little studs that when I close the cab, the control panel will rest on. But I'll likely extend these to be long like this, just to add additional support. So if somebody's banging on the thing, and I might even add, you know, additional support if I were to, you know, take like add a support beam, for instance, for when it shuts. Like, say this guy shuts all the way, I'll probably add a middle support as well, you know, just to be absolutely secure about it. This isn't going to be accurate at all, but let's just act like this is a support. Okay, so, you know, when you open the cab, now you got a middle support too. You know, I mean, this is a decent piece of wood. I mean, but why not add some more support? As you can see, I got a lot of room here. So that's kind of, well, I got to think about it smashing on the buttons, so I'd have to, you know, figure that out after I get closer to that point. But, you know. So, let's see. The boot drive is a 2.5 hard drive. Let's talk about why I went with a 2 hard drive system. The reason I did is because this hard drive, it's important to have 2 separate hard drives for this. All the Hyperspin data, all of it, is going to be on this alternate hard drive. Throughout the years, this hard drive might need to change in capacity. It might need to be replaced if it dies. But one thing's for sure, I'm going to have multiple copies of this hard drive laying around. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mirror this drive so I always have a good copy. Okay, just in case the Hyperspin drive dies, I'll be able to replace it or upgrade it from another computer and FTP over to it. The boot drive, I want basically, if I pop this hard drive with the game data into any workstation or computer, all I would have to do is put it in that computer, change the drive letter to the proper drive letter. In this case, this is always going to be drive, I think, P. So as long as I have this drive P, all my directory structure, all the directory structure will be perfectly aligned for whatever computer I put it in, and it'll work. So if I want to copy this hard drive, which will already have every, you know, emulated important thing on it, and put it in a new cabinet, I'll be able to just copy this hard drive, throw it in a new cabinet, and if I want to copy the operating system, I can do that too and put it also in there. So that's why I went that way. I guess I could have went off of one drive, but honestly, in the future, if I want to run an SSD drive for really fast boots, I want to have that capability. And as you know, I can't get a large capacity SSD, which is